identifies all the children that need extra support, whether that be in small group or individual, and an MTSS team, which is always looking at our students who are struggling academically and finding the best ways to support them. We weren't sure if we were going to have a student government this year. We got it done. We have a student government which is strong and flourishing and has already been making a lot of contributions to our community at large. A student government which, when it came together, said, we're not going to have a president and vice president and limit ourselves to titles. A student government which has representation from all the different classes and grades and welcomes every student who wants to participate. I was personally nervous if we were going to get it done and have our after-school programs, because they mean a lot to our students in our community. We've gotten it done. We've started our math club, our music clubs, our art and dance clubs, our yearbook, and we are not a community, we are not a school which does it alone. We are thankful to have a great, strong community that we work in support and cooperation with. We have our Beacon program, who you'll be hearing from this evening, which also helps us out in getting our after-school programs and so many other things in helping our school community. We were asked the question from our parents, do you think you're going to have a National Junior Honor Society? We are a school community which has gotten it done. Our National Junior Honor Society is starting up now and is coming together quite beautifully. And we get it done because we don't do it ourselves. Because we know, as the former Chancellor Carmen Farina used to say, the answers are always in the room. We get it done because we are a community which is in constant communication. As parents, you're going to find we never stop reaching out. And when we reach out, it's never just us telling you something or updating you. It's a conversation. It's back and forth. We want to hear your ideas. We want to know what's happening so we can best support your family as a whole. We do this through emails, through phone calls, through regular mail. We have joined the world of social media this year, as you're going to be hearing about. As of tonight, you can start following us on Twitter. We have also, because we know it's very important to our community, we have embraced WeChat, which, as you'll hear, we have a lot of people that are participating in. You're also going to hear about our very strong PTA, which is very active and is always supporting all of our students, whether they be blended or remote, as well as all of our families and community members. And we are always having our town hall meetings, which again are interactive. It is never a lecture or a teacher talk. It is a back and forth dialogue because the answers are in the room. So I could spend the next 60 minutes saying how proud I am and how wonderful the school is, but I think it's much more meaningful when you hear from some other people that are also part of this and also contribute day in and day out to our collective success. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from one of our PTA co-presidents, Ms. Sicilian. You're going to be hearing from our Beacon Director and Outreach Coordinator, Ms. Perrin and Ms. Popper. You're going to be hearing from our Dean, Ms. Hughes, who the title Dean may sound like very disciplinarian. You're going to find there's no stronger advocate and champion for children and supporting them than Ms. Hughes. You're going to hear from Ms. McNamara and Mr. Epstein, two of the finest guidance counselors you'll have the pleasure of working with. Excuse me. And you're going to hear from our parent coordinator, Ms. Polizzi, who is always there and is a constant advocate and supporter of all of our families and brings so many positive things to our school. But you're also going to be hearing from our administrative team. We are very, very fortunate to work with Ms. Corbett, Mr. LaCastro, and Mr. Comer. And as I said earlier, it really does start with building relationships. So you will have an assistant principal which will be with your children for the next 3 years. That will be with them through the ends and as they graduate as the class of 2024. And so this year, since Ms. Corbett is very sad to be saying goodbye to her current 8th graders, I know she is equally as excited to welcome in her incoming 6th graders. Ms. Corbett, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to meet you. I'm glad to see that we have some students who have had alumni with us. So I bet since I've been at the school for, I've counted 17 years tonight, that I might know some of your family members. For those of you who we don't know yet, I'm very excited to get to know you. So please sit back, relax. All your fears will be taken away by tonight, and we'll make sure that we answer all of your questions. Welcome.
And as Ms. Corbett said, conversations do definitely start tonight. We are going to be providing you a link and throughout the evening. So any lingering questions you have once we're done, please email us and we are going to get back to you very, very quickly. And we are also very fortunate that we have a number of staff members with us who are going to be monitoring the chat and answering your questions in real time this evening.
This is the 172. Only 80. It's so far away from so many people. But it's a really nice school.
I think I just got muted. Am I unmuted now? Not sure where I left off. You'll see these our friendly faces quite often. Any questions you have at any time, we are always going to be here to support you. I believe you have another slide with some of our other colleagues. And Ms. McNamara, Mr. Epstein, and Ms. Polizzi have been kind enough to join us this evening. Again, you're not going to find 3 more competent, well-meaning, dedicated educators. And although they couldn't join us this evening, some more faces for you to familiarize yourself with. Mr. Ilanardo, Ms. Player, and Ms. Choi. We are also very, very grateful for all of their support. And some members of our staff. A lot of people wanted to join us, but we also needed to leave some room in the bandwidth so we can accommodate our families. You're going to love so many of our teachers. They always have our children's best interests at heart. And as you can see from this, they're also a staff that does bond together and believes in having a little fun. This was a picture of our first annual Ugly Sweater Contest, which just happened at the end of December, in which not only our staff, but our students participated in. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Corbett to start answering some of the questions that we know came up in the chat and some of the questions which were already sent to us, starting with, what does a day look like in middle school? Because it is a little bit different from elementary school, and we'd like to walk you through that right now.
Again, good evening, everyone, and thank you again for joining us. So some of the most important questions that we get are about the curriculum that we have at Marie Curie Middle School. And I can guarantee you that our curriculum is top-notch, if not one of the best in the district. We do aim to make sure that our students are well prepared for high school and beyond. And we do offer Regents courses for our students once they're in 8th grade. But once you come into 6th grade, that's really where we want you to get accustomed to our school and really make sure that you create a home in our school. So the first major subjects that you're going to be taking would obviously be math, science, social studies, and ELA. Some of the additional courses that we have in our school are a little different than some of the other middle schools. For foreign languages, not only do we offer Spanish, but we also offer Mandarin. So when you're in 8th grade, you have the ability to take the foreign language proficiency exam. That exam allows you to get your first year of credit for your foreign language for high school. So if you do well on that exam, you go into high school going into level 2 courses. So again, that's one of our advanced courses that you end up taking in 8th grade. For our technology, as you know, we are a school of math, science, and technology. Technology is one of our biggest components, and every student in our school is making sure that they take coding. So throughout their school year, during our time, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they will be involved in a computer science coding class. they also will be able to partake in one of the following fine arts: dance, band, vocal, or art. And we know that students have certain passions that they want to follow when going into the fine arts. So what we like to do at the beginning of September is we make sure that we provide a assessment per se to see which talent the student would like to follow for all 3 years. We have a 3-year sequence. Unfortunately, this year we weren't able to do that due to some restrictions, but the students are still involved in the fine arts and enjoying every single bit of it. But our plan is to go with what we normally have done and do a 3-year sequence. A lot of our students end up going to LaGuardia High School for Fine and Performing Arts, Frank Sinatra. We do a lot with the fine arts. And some of the curriculum that you'll see that we use, a lot of times we're asked, what exactly do we use? For our science curriculum, we use the Amplify curriculum, which a lot of the New York City schools use. For the math, we use Go Math, and we are an Algebra for All school, which means our students take more credits and hours, courses of math. This way we prepare them to take the Regents by the time they're ready to leave us in 8th grade. For ELA, we have started this year with a new digital curriculum, which is a phenomenal curriculum, all encompassing. It's called HMH, Intro to Literature, and the teachers and students really like it. Not only does it involve the literature, it involves short videos to get the kids excited about the topics. And by the time they leave us, they are more than proficient in writing when it comes to all the different types of writing, whether it's a persuasive essay, whether it's an informative essay, or even a narrative. We want to make sure that we prepare our students for any type of writing that they may need down the road. For social studies, we proudly use the Passport to Social Studies. With that curriculum, we make sure that our students are fully prepared to think like historians. What they're able to do is they do a lot of analyzing, taking a look at history, and really trying to make sure that they're able to come away with thinking of their own, and make sure that by looking at these documents and analyzing them, that they're able to think on their own feet. For foreign language, like I said earlier, we offer Mandarin and Spanish. And for our computer science, I know we have so many of our students who are very into coding. So some of the coding techniques and languages that we study here at Marie Curie, for 6th grade, it's block JavaScript. For 7th grade, we study Python. And for 8th grade, we dabble in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as well. And as I said, our fine and performing arts is the heart of our school, as I like to say. The math, science, and technology is the brains of our school. But here are just some pictures of our students in the past performing. We have a partnership with American Ballet Theater, which we go to their studios and dance at. Our students always perform at the NYSMA as a whole band. Our chorus has started to perform at NYSMA as well. And every year we celebrate our students at the art gallery, which we have in our school. It's a big long hallway with all our students' artwork. It's the most incredible night of the year. And we get to celebrate our students' talent with the visual arts. And I'm going to stop sharing and ask Mr. LaCastro to talk about our partnerships.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And once again, thank you guys for joining us this evening. Very excited to be here tonight and to welcome all of you to hopefully be part of our 158 family starting next year. Like Ms. Corbett said, we're part of a lot of partnerships, one being the College Access for All. So in years past, we've typically taken one of our grade levels, either 6th, primarily 7th, to actually visit college campuses where they get a taste for college life a couple of years down the line. We really say that it's never too early to start preparing for that and to start making those steps necessary, because as you can imagine, the 3 years go by very quickly here at middle school, and then you got a couple more at high school. We don't want to rush things. However, it's never a bad idea to start thinking ahead. So we're excited for that. With the virtual situation this year, not that it's taken a back seat, but it's been a little bit more difficult. Not as many colleges are offering those tours, obviously, for certain reasons. Some of them do offer virtual tours, but not as many as we were once exposed to. We're also a part of Algebra for All, like Ms. Corbett once said as well. That is really encompassing just getting everybody ready for the algebra exam. You know, a lot of pre-algebra is involved with middle school. And then we take a lot of pride in all of our departments and math, in the sense that we like to prepare them for the algebra regions once they get to 8th grade. So in 6th and 7th grade, they take enough college credits, enough hours of getting on their transcript, and then they're able to take the algebra regions come June as 8th graders. It's typically a 9th grade class. It's typically in a high school level. However, we're very happy to offer it here. And that's kind of the same sense for science. In sciences, we prepare our students for 2 regions, either earth science or living environment, by the time they leave here in 8th grade. Speaking of science, Urban Advantage, we have a great partnership with the Urban Advantage Club. It's for middle schools. There's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of trips that are organized that our students take part of, and they're very excited to be involved in. And kind of just like the sciences, the real life application of science, they're really exposed to in the Urban Advantage program, and students are very, very excited for that. And also, finally, we have our Beacon program. It's an enrichment program after school that we are very, very happy to be in partner with. They're actually in our building as well. They're right on the first floor, and they do great things with the students after school for our Beacon program, in case they need a little bit of an extended day for some of our families. And with that said, I will actually turn it over to the co-chairs for that, Ms. Perrin and Ms. Poplar, for the Beacon program.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having us again. We're excited to be here. In partnership with MS158, Beacon offers a free after-school program. We've worked in collaboration with Marie Curie for 25 plus years. We offer a variety of activities, after-school programs, evening programs, SHSAT classes, extra help. Those are just a few to mention. I'll turn it over to Ms. Popper, our outreach coordinator. She can give you a little bit more information. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our numbers are on the slides, and we'll put our number and our email in the chat. Ms. Popper?
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, and we would like to thank Marie Curie for having us tonight. I'll go over our office hours. Our office hours are from 10 to 5:30 when we're virtual and in person. So if you ever need to contact myself or Ms. Perrin, you can contact us by our cell phone right now, and hopefully when we're back in the building, you can contact our office number, and you can also easily contact us by our emails. When we're in person on weekdays, we're open till late at night, till 10 p.m., and then we're open till 3 p.m. on weekends. And right now, virtually, we're open on the virtual platform till 8 p.m. Some of the activities we have for middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, and high schools are, we have a dance program, a boys talk, a Leaders of Tomorrow, a chess and debate program. We do escape rooms, sketching, a high school readiness program, a debate. We have a debate club. We do like trivia classes. We do a Let's Talk About It. We do virtual field trips, arts and crafts, STEM, and we do a gaming club also. We hope to see you all hopefully soon, but we can't wait to have you all in our program. And thank you again for having us, the Marie Curie.
me just unmute myself. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been a great partnership, and we're always welcoming and very, very appreciative of all the help. We are also saying that we know that some of our students are going to be going through a difficult transition. So we also want to pay attention to some of our social emotional supports, which we're going to be hearing about momentarily. But before we do, I see we also wanted to share some of our happier moments and some of our joyous moments, even in a year of pandemic. I believe is Mr. LaCastro's turn.
Nope, it's me.
This is Corbett.
No worries. So we just wanted to share a couple of things that we've done already with our students to keep them engaged and having fun. Sometimes we know what it's like to be at home and it can be a little lonely. So we really try to make sure that we provide different events for the students to switch it up a little for them. So we've had some great guest speakers. There is a parent who, Mr. Ferretti, I don't know if the community knows him, but he's phenomenal. I didn't get a picture of him when he came to do our virtual chat, but he talked all about his music career and with the students in our music classes, and that was a great guest speaker. But we also had Kendra Chambers, who is an all-star American athlete, speak with our phys ed students. Chandler Moyson, who is a computer programmer, and this is actually the second year that Chandler has joined us virtually. He is a phenomenal resource and actually willing to work with our students to help them if they really want to become computer programmers and mentor them. We were in the building for Crazy Hat and Mask Day. So as you can see, you see some of our staff and students dressed up for the occasion. We had a phenomenal high school night alumni event where we had our alumni students come back and speak with our current 8th graders and talk about the high schools that they're in to help them figure out which is the best fit for them. We had over 150 students show up for that, so it was a phenomenal event. In December, we tried to switch it up. We always do an ugly sweater contest, and this time we did it virtual. So our students, our teachers, our classes posted on a Padlet their entries, and then we had prizes at the end for the best awards. We also had, thanks to our wonderful PTA and our SO and Mr. Gordon, you'll hear a little bit from him later, our SO coordinator, we had a wonderful holiday toy drive at Martha's Bakery. And it was extremely successful. The car that went to pick up the stuff, it didn't fit all of it in there. It was really nice to see. And we also know how important it is to recognize our students. So weekly, teachers can submit their shout out responses of which kids are really having outstanding actions and awesome contributions to our school community. And we only started this at the very end of December, and we have already recognized over 150 students. Tomorrow we'll be recognizing another 30 from this very short week. And this is definitely a mainstay of our student shout outs and how we celebrate our students. And we also do weekly shout outs for our staff and faculty to make sure that they realize that we know how much they do for us and that they're a great part of our community. And now I think it's up to the SEL team, which is our guidance counselors, Mr. Epstein and Miss McNamara.
Hi, good evening all. We're so happy to meet you virtually, and we very much look forward to welcoming all of your children in September. For those, I'm sure there's many families here that Mr. Epstein and I know through the years. We've had siblings, and for those of you that don't know us, we look forward to getting to know you. Mr. Epstein and I and Ms. Hughes, who is our dean, but she worked very closely with us. We don't, as Mr. McHugh said at the top of the meeting, we don't really look at the dean as the punisher, to use that word. As a matter of fact, most of the students think she's a guidance counselor. So that speaks to how kind she is with the students. And we were actually speaking today about how we are going to do social emotional learning in September for our students who have been remote learning, especially our students who have been remote learning and now entering a new building. So we do have plans for programs we're going to run. Mr. Epstein and I run various groups. It can be something as simple as a kid being nervous about a test or something, you know, that they would like to speak with us about. We also work with students when they're applying to high school. We sit with each student and we have a whole checklist and a whole process that we do to determine what the best option for them is. We do classroom visits where we do lessons and things of that nature. We talk a lot about mindfulness and our feelings. We utilize the mood meter. So we do a lot of work with the students, and we very much miss doing it in person and look so forward to when we can do that again. And I will put my email in the chat. And if you guys have any specific question, please feel free to email me regarding our guidance department.
I'd just like to add that Ms. McNamara and I have been here together for many, many years. I'll put my email in the chat in a second. And it really is a family. I had to go through the closet and break out my Marie Curie gear from, I don't even know what year this is from, but the mothballs. But we really, every year is a new exciting adventure. And I know we all really miss the connection, in person with the students. But we look forward to all of you guys coming next year. And we know that this has been a very difficult time for students, parents, everyone, and the supports that we've been providing have really ranged, as Ms. McNamara was saying. I mean, there's so many different issues and different things the kids are dealing with. And I can imagine in your elementary schools, there are people reaching out also there that are helping you. And we just hope to continue that next year and look forward to seeing everyone.
And now you get to hear from Miss Hughes, our dean.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. And like Ms. McNamara said, I can't wait to be with you in person. And I hope to get to meet each one of you individually and your families. I know there are a number of questions in the chat, so I will try to address them as I go through my presentation on respect for all. But one of the things I would like to do is just introduce myself and tell you what I do here at the building. I am the dean, so I am responsible for discipline. So there are times when I do have to have the heavy hand and have that conversation with a student or students and their families. All issues are addressed. So for instance, right now, everything is addressed as if we were in the building. Issues are investigated, they're addressed, and then they're handled. And the best thing that we have as a team with the social emotional team that we have is the supports and interventions that we have now are so much stronger and so much more, we are so much more equipped to help students through the process of online behaviors, etc., as well as their families. So we are addressing all of the matters that take place. Through our team, something that we do that's different is every month we're going into classrooms, virtually right now, but we'll continue to do it in person. And we're putting our faces in front of the students to say, you have somebody here. You'll always have somebody at 158 if you need us. And I think that's really important for students who are struggling or working through something that might be happening to them that we don't know about. We also work very closely with our teachers to recognize the signs for a student who might be struggling, or I would say like putting stuff into writing in their chats and stuff like that. They reach out to us immediately. And I think that is something that has changed. And I think that's awesome. The community that we have now is so strong. And like Mr. Epstein said, we really are a family. And in our family are all of our students. And we often call them our kids because that's who they become to us. So you'll always hear us say, oh, our kids. And that's what we're all about. We all have office hours so that any student could pop in and see us on a Google Meet. When we're in the building, it's the best thing in the world when we're standing outside our office and a student pops by and they say, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And we'll continue to do that when we're in person. We have homerooms, which might be different for you as incoming 6th graders. And I think homeroom is a really nice place. It's, you know, your home base essentially. It's where you hang up your jacket in the morning, hang up your hat, and you see a familiar face each day. And that would be your teacher and your community that you've built there of classmates and friends. And one of the things that you'll see up on the screen is a door room competition, a door decorating competition. And I think that's always really fun. Like a little competition is always good for our souls and for each other. But what it does is it promotes community, it promotes team building activities. And so we're really trying to focus on your homeroom and your classrooms being a community where everybody feels accepted, where everybody feels welcomed. And we promote that sense through our SEL visits, through our conversations with the students, and through our classroom discussions. And I think that's really important to recognize. If there's only one thing that you can take away from what I say to you is that when you're at 158, you always have at least one person, if not tons of people to turn to if you need anything, parents and children. So I'll sign off. I thank you. I can't wait to see you and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hughes. I want to say I'm reading through the chat and I understand some of the comments that we're seeing here. Last year, I know before my time here, although I did have the chance to support the school this time, there was an unfortunate incident which received a lot of unfair and not wholly accurate media coverage. I like everyone to know, and I like to be very, very clear. School bullying and anything related to school safety is something we take very, very seriously here at Marie Curie Middle School. Any incident and all incidents are always investigated and they are always handled and that they are always going to be followed up on by many members of our team. Sometimes there may be disciplinary actions. In every case, there will always be some type of guidance interventions. The systems that we've put in place through our SEL team and through our other teams is to become very proactive. We don't wait for things to happen. We try to jump out ahead of them. So one of the things you're going to find if you have the chance to join us next year, we always keep our ear to the ground. We are always a school staff which will welcome children talking to us in a safe and confidential way. And we are always going to jump on everything in real time. And you're always going to hear about it from us. They come up at town halls whenever there's something that needs to be addressed. You're always going to reach out if your child ever becomes the victim or is ever suspected of engaging in any type of misbehavior, and there will always be follow-up. All of our incidents are always recorded in a proper way, and I just want to make that very, very clear because I know unfortunately some things get lost in translation and maybe miscommunicated over time. I'd like to be very clear that we will always be transparent with our community as a whole and any individual who's been affected. So regardless of what you may have seen, and I won't lie, things have happened, please know that we will always address it and we are always going to try to prevent things from ever occurring, as you may have seen in the past. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Comer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that introduction. I'd like to just acknowledge that, I too am, like Mr. McHugh, I'm a new member of the Marie Curie family, actually coming on board maybe only in October. And it's been just such a privilege and an honor listening to all of my colleagues talk about the amazing work that we do here at the school. Marie Curie, from my perspective, is a really great place to work. And I always say that the environment that people work in is the environment that our students learn in. And this is really a great place to learn. And so it's my pleasure to kind of introduce you guys to some of the things that we do to enrich and some of our extracurricular activities that Mr. McHugh and our representatives from Beacon have already kind of mentioned, so I'll go quickly. But I'm very proud to say that these programs are alive and up and running, despite the challenges associated with the pandemic. And yeah, if you can advance the slide, I think I'll be able to talk a little bit more about which ones they are specifically. So are we on the right slide? Yes. So Mr. McHugh mentioned the student government, which is, we've taken an opportunity during the pandemic to kind of reinvent that. So our student government is now using principles from an organization known as Democracy in Practice, and they are really reinventing what civic education looks like. Students are enrolled in their student government via lotteries. They handle real issues and students are empowered to do that. And they rotate their responsibilities throughout the year. So more students have an opportunity to learn and develop leadership skills. Our student government currently has 40 members from 6th to 8th grade. Our National Junior Honor Society, which we're very proud to be developing, currently has 60 candidates in the 7th grade, and our 8th graders are also being invited to participate. Combined, those students are on track to commit themselves to over 1,500 hours of community service to our school and our community. So in addition to that, we have an arts portfolio club for any student that wants to enrich their art education and develop a portfolio to get into an art specialized high school. We have a band club, a yearbook club, our Fellas and Gems club that are our male and female empowerment groups, and our Beacon program, as they mentioned, are running chess, debate, and high school readiness programs. So we really believe in Marie Curie about teaching the whole child. And I think on the next slide, we have some pictures of some of our sports that we hope to get up and running very soon when things settle down. Our volleyball team, I understand that we have a very competitive basketball team, Mr. Epstein, and we also, not pictured, but we have a fitness club for any student that is into athletics. So I thank you for this opportunity to share about some of the great things that are happening after school, and I really look forward to meeting you and all your families. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, we'd actually like to hear from those that are truly in the halls or in the virtual classrooms as may be. We'd like to hear from a few of our current students. Ms. Corbett, if you can raise the volume, please. Still can't hear it, unfortunately.
Sorry, 1 minute, please.
I believe you have to make sure you unmute yourself. Sorry, please bear with us. We have some technical difficulties.
1 moment.
No worries.
Hello everyone. You guys are starting middle school soon and I was in your shoes, obviously. It was pretty scary, but MS158, it's a great school to go to. Everyone's so supportive and they're very kind and the teachers are great. They're really good at teaching. So MS158 is a great school to go to. Hello everyone. You guys are starting middle school.
Oh, I'm a student at MS158. I couldn't recommend the school enough. 5 out of 5 stars. Oh.
Hi, my name is Maya and I'm in 8th grade. I remember when I was in 6th grade and I was so nervous. So if you're nervous, then I can totally relate. But if you're not nervous, then that's good because there's nothing to be nervous about. If you ever have any troubles, the teachers are always there to help you. And I hope you have a good time in 6th grade. Bye. Hi, my name
Hello to all the new 6th graders in MS158. My name is Juliana Sicilian and I'm from class 801. I know that there seems like a lot to be worried about, but you really shouldn't. No matter what happens, remember that the counselors are always going to be there to help you, and middle school is an amazing place to make new friends and catch up with old ones that you maybe haven't seen in a while. And since we're in so much of a bigger school now, you're probably going to make a lot more friends. Bye.
Hi, I'm Mr. Gordon. I'm an art teacher here at Marie Curie Middle School. I love MS158 because my students are passionate and creative, and I love working here because I get to be part of one big Marie Curie family. My students care about one another, they're kind towards each other, and the teachers and staff in this building will make sure that every single day you are your best. There's so many opportunities here at this school, and I think you'll find your voice, your passion, and you'll feel like part of this family when you join us next year. Can't wait to meet you.
Okay, everyone. So one of the things that we have improved over the course of our years is our school website. Our school website houses so much information, and some of the feedback that we received is how do we communicate with others. So you'll see in the next two pieces how much we actually communicate. I'm not so sure if it's overboard at this point, but our saying is any way that we can get it done and make sure that you're aware of it, we're going to make sure it happens. When you get a chance, take a look at our school website. There's a ton of information about what's currently going on. Every time you click open onto our website, you'll see a notify. It's a daily notification to families on what's going on in our school. You can also get that daily notification straight to your cell phone every day. So no need to even log on to the school website because it will come as a banner straight onto your phone. So when you get the chance, you can read that notification and find out exactly what's happening in our school. One of the other ways that we are communicating that we started this year is we opened up a Twitter account for those of you who use Twitter. And if you have your phones right now, you can take a picture of the screen shares here and scan them so that this way you can join us and see what's happening in our school. Another way that we decided to communicate with families is we heard a lot of our families are on WeChat. So we now have over 152 people on our WeChat community, in which we also share everything that goes out on Notify, goes out on Twitter, goes out on WeChat, as well as our emails and also our phone calls home. So any way you prefer to communicate, we will make sure that you get the information that you need and know what's going on at our school. And I think before this, though, we're going to have Miss Sicilian, who is one of our co-PTA presidents, just talk for a quick minute about how our PTA works here.
Thank you, Mrs. Corbett. Hi, everyone. I remember attending middle school orientation for both my girls, and it was such an exciting time. My youngest daughter, Juliana, graduated from PS 41, and now is an 8th grader at Marie Curie. And my oldest daughter graduated from PS 188 and from Marie Curie as well, and is now a junior at Townsend Harris. This is my first year as PTA co-president, and without question, it has been a unique year, challenging many times, but it's also been a pretty great one. We have an amazing PTA and SLT team in place, and between the two groups, we have a good mix of parents, some that have experience on these boards and others that are new to the school, which is a great combination because it sets up the teams for success the following year. We also have a parent participation on the safety committee. The parent participation is new to last year, and the communication between the three teams is really great. Because of this communication between the three teams and the school as well, it really allows the parents to be aware of what's going on pretty frequently. And quite frankly, I think participation this year has been just quite spectacular. We have a great set of parent volunteers also. So if you don't want to be on, you may not have the time to be on either of the two teams, we have committees. We have a virtual mixer committee. We have a fundraiser committee. We have a graduation committee. And just last night, a parent agreed to chair a clothing drive for the school, which we're going to hold on March 27th. So if anyone has clothes they want to donate, please reach out and let us know. And just going back to the communication, and I think, probably a common theme that you heard throughout the presentation, it's pretty strong. The PTA has a Facebook page and the monthly PTA meetings that you're all probably used to. But the school is really very good at communicating with the parents, besides they communicate through People Path. And I see that we have another slide coming up, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but we do have, the school did open up the Twitter account that they just mentioned, and WeChat, which everyone's super excited about, the WeChat account. And every day we get new members on it. So it's really quite impressive. And then Mr. McHugh, Principal McHugh holds, town hall meetings frequently. We're scheduled to have one tomorrow. And this has been going on pretty much since the beginning of the year. And quite honestly, at the beginning of the year, I spoke to a lot of parents, and they're, every single parent conversation that I had started with, and I spoke to Principal McHugh. So his door is always open, as is the door of the assistant principals. And if there's a question, they're there for you and the students. Just one event that I wanted to share with you, because I'm very proud of it, was we had an alumni panel of high school students. So kids that went to Marie Curie and who are now in high school came back to talk to our current 8th graders. And we had high school students from Bayside High School, Cardoza. We had kids from St. Francis Prep, from Molloy. We also had kids from Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, Townsend Harris, and it just gave our current 8th graders an opportunity to ask questions and just figure out what high schools they wanted to attend. It was a very impressive night, and was really the most impressive part about it was the smart questions that our 8th graders asked of the high school students that were on the panel. I think it was quite a success, and something that probably will carry on throughout the next few years. Everyone really enjoyed it. And then coming up, we're partnering with our District 26 sister school, MS74. We're holding a virtual game night. It's hosted by Super Mix Entertainment. And I can tell you that everyone's brushing up on their trivia facts to make sure that they score well. Thank you everyone for your time. I'm here, and the PTA is here to answer any questions that you may have. Our PTA email address can be found on the school website. Thank you for your time.
And I just want to say real quick that we have people joining WeChat. I'm very excited. And now I'm going to introduce Miss Palizzi, our parent coordinator.
I'm sorry. Hi, everyone. Do you see me? Do you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can see you. I can hear you.
We can see you and
Yes.
hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Glad you could join us tonight. I'm glad I had the opportunity to introduce myself. I wanted you all to know that I am here for you. I'm here for all the parents. I'm here for your children also. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. My information will come up on the next slide, my email address. And, feel free anytime. No question is silly or small. Any questions, feel free to contact me. Your children will be in good hands at MS158. The staff and faculty are extremely nurturing, and we understand the transition from elementary school to middle school. And we will be here for you and your children, for sure. Okay, thank you. I look forward to meeting everyone.
And just to go back, we are going to be sending out this slide presentation to you. So when you do get it, in case you still have some more questions, we made this information center for you. So when you hover over, and of course, I didn't really want to do that yet, but when you hover over the screen, you'll get it to see the information that is in our information center. So anything from the classes that the students will take, to frequently asked questions, to going back to our parent family frequently asked questions, the website notification, how to get our notifications on your phone. And just so that you know, one of the online grading systems that we use to keep our parents and families up to date in your child's progress is Pupil Path. And at the beginning of the school year, your family will receive an invitation code where both the parents and guardians, as well as the students, have their own access code, so that they can see all the time how their child is progressing, have access to email the teachers and communicate with them. It's one of our systems that we have in place, again, to make sure that communication is key. And Mr. McHugh?
And with that, again, I want to piggyback off of something that Ms. Polizzi just shared a few minutes ago. There's no such thing as a bad question. This is definitely a challenging time, but it's also an exciting time. It's the next step in your child's education, and we want to help make sure that those steps are as safe, as academically rigorous as possible. As you also heard, besides our communication, we are always looking towards the future. We are not planning on what happens in just 6th or 7th or 8th grade. Our goal is to help the children through that time in their life, but to also look to high school, to also look to college, to look beyond, to make sure that they are ready to join us as fully functional, happy members of society, which we know that they can be. So I want to thank you all on behalf of all of us that are on this call and all the staff that couldn't make it this evening. Thank you all very much for joining us. If you have any questions, you have our contact information, please reach out anytime, and we will always be here for you. And I hope, and I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you this September, if not sooner. We will definitely be in touch. We will definitely do some orientation work. We will definitely make sure that when September comes, however it looks, and fingers crossed that'll be with all of us in the building, but however September looks, it'll be together and it's going to be a great experience. Thank you all for coming. Please follow up with any questions, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.